So about a year ago, year and a half ago, I got an Orange Pi 800, and I tell you what, I like this thing a lot. It was between this and the Raspberry Pi 400, but this has way better specs. Has 6-core processor. The Raspberry Pi has a 4-core, so you get a little more CPU on this. 4 gig of RAM, 64 gig eMMC, and of course all the ports. You get the three USB, Ethernet, SD card, full-size HDMI must-have, and look at this, VGA port. How cool is that? Of course, the I/O and a little headphone jack and a little built-in speaker, so if you don't have speakers. So it kind of gives you a little bit of everything in here for about $100, and it's way cheaper than the Raspberry Pi 400. There are little Raspberry Pis now, Raspberry Pi 5s. You put your own little case. It has better specs than this, bigger eMMC, and I think there is, I don't know if the CPU is quite as good as this one, but some pretty good specs on those, but you don't get the keyboard. This is kind of all in one. So it's equivalent to the Raspberry Pi 400. And I really dig it. I had upgraded to Android, and I tell you what, Android was fantastic. I really liked it a lot. The advantage of it is, one, it's Android, and two, Google Play Store, baby. So all the apps you could ever want, you can install, works fine. And having a nice size hard drive, you can install what they want. So I did Tubi TV, all the kind of different TV apps, and those all work fine. But I want to go back more to a desktop feel, so I got the Orange Pi Ubuntu, kind of Orange Pi flavored Ubuntu. But if you want to install it, you need to put it on a small SD card, stick it in here, boot it up, and it'll boot off there. And in a command prompt, put in this command, and it'll install it, the eMMC. But you can boot it off the SD card if you wanted to keep Android on here. But I wanted to boot it on here, have it on here, and just go that way. But that's what. Let's go out. I got it hooked up over here, and we're going to take a look at it. I'll kind of just show you a couple little features of the Ubuntu. And I really, like I said, I like the Ubuntu. The only thing it doesn't have a package manager where if, hey, I want this app or an app to do this, you have to put that on separately. But, you know, for the most part, it comes with everything you need. It's got, of course, the operating system, Office, browsers, Firefox, I can't think of Chrome browser, Chromium maybe, and a bunch of other different little apps just to get you started. But let's take a look at it. So let's turn it on. I saw the splash screen there. And you'll see it boots up fairly quickly. And we're in. So let's go to the top. You can see you got your applications up here. You got web browser, you got settings, accessories, graphics, help, internet, multimedia. There's some graphics. You can see you have a couple things. Here's your internet, Firefox. Let's launch Firefox. Takes a few seconds to launch. It's still fairly quick for a little ARM CPU. Let's see, let's load another one. That one's still taking a little time there. There's the Chromium. And these do update, so it's kind of cool that they'll update on their own. And there's Chromium. And I clicked on Bing, we got Bing. I think the Chromium is definitely much faster than the Firefox. You can see Office, here's the LibreOffice. So let's open up Calc. These open up nice and quickly. And kind of one of the things I'm probably going to use this most for is like word processing, some spreadsheets, that kind of thing. Oh, and internet, you know, of course, internet. Here's the system. And there's a system monitor, kind of like the graphical top. Let's put him over here. Let's click on processes, or resources, I think resources. There you go. Kind of the same thing as top, but just kind of a nice way to look at it. So you can kind of see the 6 CPUs grinding away there. And you can overclock this if you like. I just kind of left it stock. Some multimedia. Let's see what else we got in settings. There's the software and updates. This one seems like it always takes a little while to load. But I fully updated this guy with all its latest patches and stuff like that for Ubuntu. Got to keep it nice and safe and secure. And so you got some other software. Let's see what else I can show you. There's GIMP. Pretty much in every Linux distribution has GIMP. I'm surprised at how fast this guy loads. I know on Windows it takes a little longer. I'm not sure what version. I think it said version on the splash screen. Let's see, we can about 2.10.30. Let's go back to Chromium. There's the Chrome Web Store. I still need to put ad block on all these just to make browsing a little nicer without the ads and stuff. But that all works fine. YouTube works fine, plays fine. YouTube does take a little while to load, but it does work fine. Actually, I was kind of using Firefox for it, so maybe the Chromium would be a little better. And there's kind of a LibreOffice. There's the right. Here's a setting manager, kind of like an all-in-one, where kind of like a settings for Windows or control panel. Lots of stuff to play with. I really haven't put many apps on here yet, just kind of the stuff that kind of came with it. You do have to update LibreOffice if you want the full version of it. I'll kind of show you that in a second. But here's kind of that. So now let's see what else we got here. Here's the orangepi config. And this is where you're going to load some. So here's the password is orangepi. This is kind of their orangepi installer or configuration utility. You got system, network, personal, software, and help. So here's where you can do some overclocking if you like. Or set maximum speed, minimum speed, CPU governor. I just kind of left that all stock, so I'm just going to cancel that. And you can see you can do SSH, those kind of things. And here you can configure your Wi-Fi, hotspot, IPv6, all your network settings. And personal. So you can put your time zones and things like that. Software, here's not a lot of options here, but you can see you can put monitoring, GIMP, LibreOffice. I think I did install GIMP and LibreOffice. And RDP, I put that on there. It's like a remote into it. And of course, there's help. All in all, very nice little distribution of Ubuntu. I like that they put the splash screen in there. Like I said, it performs really well. And I did patch it fully, with all its security updates and performance updates. So it's kind of nice that it did that without any issues. And you can see the CPUs kind of chugging away there. I think this may fail. Seems like every time I do the software update, or sometimes it fails the first time that it says, hey, okay. You can see some of the partitions here. We do have 60 gig left, or 60 gig of space, using 6 gig for the whole operating system. Not bad at all, nice and lightweight. Try doing that with Windows. Yeah, I think this guy sometimes takes a while. Let's try him again, maybe. And there you go, orangepi 800 with Ubuntu on it. And there is Manjaro, I think Arch, a whole bunch of different other Linux distributions. Not quite as many as the Raspberry Pi 400, because that is way more popular, way more supported. And this one, if you have problems, you have to go to their forum group. But it is still pretty cool for the price. Of course, you could go out and get a refurb HP desktop for $100 and do all the Windows stuff and that kind of fun thing. But I think Linux is the way to go. It's kind of cool. And look at it. How many people have an orangepi 800?